everyone, my name is Jared Cattoor, and today I'd like to share with you the information that is in my new book called Music Vocabulary Puzzles. I'll be self-publishing it very soon, and I also have a few to offer before the actual publishing, the official. So if you're interested, please contact me about that. And let me first explain to you what the book is about and how you can use it and who it's intended for. So yeah, the purpose of this book is to basically just spell chords, chords and scales and arpeggios in a fun and creative, abstract way using these puzzles. So it's very effective. I think it's very fun and challenging and just kind of cool. Something you can do away from your instrument and still get better at music and challenge yourself and just get smarter, because it's like brain work, although it's still cool and fun. So the book really is intended for pretty much anyone who wants to get better at theory. In the first 1/4 of the book, I explain all the information, how you can use it, and you're basically learning music theory at that point. So anyone learning theory, high school theory students, if you do this, you'll be like way, like everything in class will be super easy. And also really though, it gets to the heart of like college students in theory class, jazz musicians, private teachers, and professors. It's kind of some advanced stuff. So pretty much, yeah, that's it. And for the professors and the private teachers, this is really great stuff to teach with. And for the students, like, it will really help you, and you'll see why in a second. With everything you're doing in class, it should make all spelling anything very easy. And for the jazz people and just everybody, it's just really good to sharpen the sword, so you really know this stuff. And like I said, it's like still getting better away from your instrument, and I love that. So anyway, let's get right to doing some of these puzzles, right? So yeah, let's go ahead and do it. I'll draw one up here, and I just want to say the reason that I titled this Music Vocabulary Puzzles is because that's what it is. We are spelling vocabulary. So it's like a spelling bee for music, but you'll never lose ever if you can do these right, which I think is really fun. Because music is definitely a language, right? And and we use chords and scales and licks and arpeggios and melodies. These things, chord progressions, they create the language that we speak, right? Just like words, letters combine to create a word or sentences. It's the same exact thing. Notes combine to create chords and melodies and all that stuff I listed. So I talk about that in the first 1/4 as well. So, but actually we use these puzzles to do it. So let's get into it. So this is what you'll see, a ton of puzzles, right? And this one is the most basic you'll see there. It's a major triad puzzle. And you'll know because of the actual chord tones written above the graph. And also in the book you'll see it says major triad puzzles on the page. This says R, standing for root, so root, third, and fifth. And you could write 1, 3, 5 as well, either is fine. I like writing root, I just like that, so I did. And so every puzzle will always look just like this. Now it will look like that. It will always have a fixed note. And what you're basically meant to do is you just fill in the spaces around it, and you do not mess with the fixed note. So another thing is you only solve them one row at a time. So it's kind of like there's 3 chords within this puzzle. And so we just fill in the chord tones around it. So we have, the first one is a C major triad. You know that because C is the root. So we just fill in the rest, right? And the third is E, and the fifth is G. And boom, so I have one done. Now, C is the third. Here's where it gets more interesting. And this is kind of like how the whole book is. So C is the third of what major triad? It's A flat. Right? Hopefully you said A flat. The fifth is E flat. You might have thought it was A, which is common that people do. And this book will definitely help eliminate that confusion, because that would just be A minor. Right, so the third is a major third away from the root. And, I explain intervals and all that stuff in the beginning, so you'll know that. Okay, and the fifth, C is the fifth of what? So C is the fifth of F, and A is the third. So I just did one puzzle, and that's how they will go. And there's 12 puzzles on each page for each type of chord. There's a lot of chords. Basically, every practical chord that we use in the contemporary world of music is in here, up to 7th chords. Volume 2 has all the extensions and all the advanced stuff, including scales. I also do scales in this book. So, I'll talk about one more concept, and then I will say goodbye. Okay, so now here's another idea that we have. And this, there are also 4-note chords in the book, right? We have 3-note, 4-note, and then we have scales. Scales work just this way too. So, a really fun concept that I like a lot that I use is unorganized chords. You can call them inversions if you like as well. I call them unorganized. So let's say we have a minor 6 chord, for example, just whatever. And then we have unorganized chord tones. So we'll do it like that, right? It would be root, flat 3, 6, 5. That is a 6, not a G. And then we have just a given random letter, and then we use all the letters of the alphabet, including flat and sharp letters. And yeah, the same idea, right? So we just fill in the chord tones around it. So I'll do this one for you, and see if you can do it. Maybe pause the video and see if you come back and it's all right. So I like to think of it like this. D is the flat third of what chord? And then I would come up with this. And then you could, I guess the 6 we could do next, which would be G sharp, and the 5th would be F sharp. So this really helps for one learning intervals. Like G sharp is a 6. I went right there. I skipped the 5th. You can think that way and just go straight across. So if we did it like that, D is the root, and then, well, this one's easy. So flat third, F, well, it's kind of the same. 6 is going to be B, and the 5th is A. Or you can think like just what's, like this one is the 6th. So D is the 6th of what chord? And then you could just write F. And then, okay, so it's minor, so it's A flat. And then the 6th, the 5th is going to be C. And you could think like that. So same way, D is the 5th of G, B flat is the 3rd, and E is the 6th. And yeah, so maybe you thought that was done quickly, maybe not. I can tell you, just from doing some puzzles occasionally, I am very, very quick with pretty much all chords. I think this is so helpful. Basically, I started doing this years ago for fun, and it's just like no hesitation when it comes to spelling chords, really. So one more idea I'll just tell you about is you could do scales, and I have this with scales too. So 5-note scales, pentatonic scales, and 7-note scales, which are major, minor, melodic, and harmonic minor I have in this book. In book 2, we have all the modes of melodic minor, harmonic minor, and all the modes of major. So yeah, it can get pretty awesome. That's how I like to think. Some of the stuff is very advanced, but it's very helpful. Like I said, sharpening that sword and just really knowing. And I believe if you can do these right, you're just set for life. If you do even half of this book, you're just solid, like if you do it all right. So it's very, very helpful. If you guys are interested in getting the book, please contact me. You can email me at jaredcattoor@gmail.com, or just comment on this video and I will get in touch with you then. If you have any more questions, yeah, just please feel free to comment or send me an email, and I would love to chat with you. So have a great day. I hope you love the idea as much as I do, because I think it's a lot of fun. And adios.